Hello there. Welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. It is Tuesdays to be continued. I am going to continue working with Rejoice in Him. Let's see who is going to pop on. We're going to start in 1 minute. It is 1:59 here in California. Welcome everybody. It is chilly. Can you tell? I went outside and I did a little bit of sweeping and it was beautiful in the sun. Hi, Carol. But it is so cold in the shade and there's a breeze, and so I think the breeze has stopped now. Hi, Carol. Hi, Jean. So yes, kind of chilly out there. Welcome everybody. I think it's 2 o'clock, so we're going to get started. It is. So everybody seemed to like the card I made on Sunday, and I do have a winner for that card, and I'm going to continue on as I always do on Tuesdays using the same stamp set. Hi Donna. But I'm going to show you some other dies and folders that work well with this set, and also some other stamp sets that work well with this set. 39 degrees, oh my gosh. Hi Diane. I can't even imagine. Oh, and so we're gonna continue working with this set and just see all the things in both catalogs that really tie in with it, okay? All right, let me turn you down. There we go. It finally stopped snowing. Hi, Jocelyn. I bet it's gorgeous, though. I bet it's absolutely gorgeous there. Okay, so if you will, and thank you for those of you that do already, if you will sprinkle that, Pinky and I both say thank you very much. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Deborah. Here is my information. I'll just show that real quick like I do every time, just in case you need it. There's my host code. There's my website. Hi, Sharon. And YouTube channel and email. Welcome, everybody. All right. You know what I've been forgetting all of January? I have forgot to tell you what the prize of the month is. So I put it out today and I said I am not going to forget that. Hey, cousin. My cousin Julie is here. Everybody say hi, Julie. So I keep forgetting to tell you what the prize of the month is. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. But this card was very popular on Sunday. Everybody liked it a lot, and so I was very happy with that. It is from the set Rejoice in Him, and I've really enjoyed this set a lot, and I hope you will too if you choose to get it. Oh, I love you too, Julie. And so let's see who won this card. My printer decided not to work, so I had to write it out. But she's a new viewer as far as I know. Cindy, I need your address. If you will send me your address, you can email me. I'll put my email up again. That's the fastest way I'll see it. There is my email. Send me an email with your address prior to Sunday, and this will go out in the mail to you. Congratulations, and I hope you love it. All right, so Scenic Garden stamp set. Oh, man, it's a beautiful stamp set. See, it's brand new. You can only earn this stamp set. You cannot buy it. You can earn it with a $300 order or workshop. So I decided that that might be a little bit hard for people to earn, so I'm going to give it away. So if you order from me this month, it doesn't matter what size order you place at all, your name's going to go in a drawing and you could win this stamp set. I will mail it to you completely free of charge. If you live out of town, if you live in town or close by, I might drop it by and say hi. Okay, so good luck. That is the prize for this month. And if you have that set already, it's a great gift. So you could give it away to somebody that you know wants it as well. All right, let's talk about this stamp set again. It's in the mini catalog. I'm going to guess, if I'm guessing right, it's on page 54. I am, right here. And there's a beautiful samples here on that page as well. I can deliver to you, Diane, that's for sure. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, a dream. I cannot wait to get to your place, girl. You are on the top of my list to come over and visit as soon as I can. So anyway, let's talk about this set a little bit. I had some questions when I put the sample on the demonstrator's website. They were asking about what paper I used for the cross, and I had told you that I used a DSP that I knew a lot of my customers had. It was a DSP that came in a large pack that was wood grain. But then I showed you how I made current wood grain using the pack from the farm set that we have currently in the Celebration catalog. Then I was thinking, I like to give you a bunch of other ideas. If you just take cardstock and you use your timber folder, which is a wood grain, you could make a cross with that. And Hope and Prayer stamp set has a lot of other sentiments you could use, and another dove that you could use along with this stamp set. The doves are different, but yet there are two now. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to point out in case you wanted to know what works really well with this stamp set. The other thing I noticed, and I'm going to show you some other samples that I have made already besides the one I'm going to make in front of you right now. The other thing that I noticed is with this stamp set, and I don't think any other stamp set I've thought of it in this way before, but I really think the colors that you choose to use with this stamp set make a difference. So this card, and monochromatic per se. So this card was early espresso, and this is the designer series paper that's wood grain looking, and then some gold. And that's it. Very simple. Hi, Annie. But very elegant is the word that kept being used. In fact, I had 3 people. One person said, this card gave me goosebumps. One person said, I got the chills when I laid eyes on that card. And another person said, oh my goodness, what did she say? Something in that category. I forgot the word she used. But that, to me, is success because, the Lord gives us all those feelings. And I think this card, if you send it as a sympathy or as a praying for you or, hold your head up high, keep the faith, that type of thing, if it's going to give that type of feeling, then we're successful, right? And I think what helps the calmness of these cards involving the Lord, the spiritual cards, if you will, are the colors. Okay. Hi, Kathy. So I really fell in love with using this set with Blackberry Bliss. I really think it brings out more of the beauty in this set. For embellishing, I use the rustic metallic adhesive back dots. Now, I use those because of the word and the look, rustic, that rugged old cross. I'm not going to do another cross this time, but when we think of the Lord, we think of the resurrection, we think of him dying on the cross for us, we think of his grace. There's a lot of things that come into our mind, and rustic is one of them, so I thought these would be great for that. And yes, these are ferns. This is the fern folder. But I thought it tied in really well for 2 reasons. One, the texture that it creates. Hi, Michelle. Along with the cane weave. I'm going to use them both today. And then the palm, again, look without having to cut out the palms or stamp the palms, just have that look in the background. And I think of Jesus praying in the garden and all the foliage that was around. And so this fern really grabbed at me with that. And then in the queen, now this is a lot of product, and this is new, so you may not have this one yet, but the queen bee bundle is simply amazing. And in the dies, there is a die that I consider the word regal comes to me when you see this die. There's amazing dies in this set, but I'm going to use this one today because I think it helps step up this card that I'm making. And then last week I told you that or Sunday, I told you that the Something Fancy dies were amazing. They are. And I used the octagon one on the cross to stamp the dove on the vellum to emboss that with. That came from these dies. So in case you don't have those, I wanted to share another set that works well, the tailor-made tag dies. Okay, so Wink Estella is used in this card as well. And the tailor-made tags, I'm just going to grab one of the large tags. It doesn't matter which one. This one's a little fancier. This one's a little wider, I think. Yeah, just slightly. So I am using the widest, largest. Hi, Debbie. Okay, a lot of talking there. I said a lot of things in that. So let's get started with the card. I am going to make the card from scratch. Move all my things out of the way. Poke this out here. Okay, let me show you the card first. Again, I think, hi Judy, I think that the colors, I'm using vellum again, the rustic embellishments and the texture really make this card elegant and tailored as well, just like the card on Sunday. So here we are. The thing I just realized I didn't mention is the linen thread. Oh my gosh, this linen thread right under here made a world of difference on this card. So we need that as well. Okay, let me see if this is a big enough piece of vellum. It is. I'm going to cut it down. And I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine. And then I'm going to, oh, no, not this piece. That's wrong. That's wrong. I was just looking at my card better. Tailor tags. I'm going to use the next one down. This one. So the second one down, because I need this one for the cardstock. Okay, so this has to be a little bit smaller. So I'm glad I caught that. I'm gonna run that through, and then I'm gonna cut my cardstock. Let's do that right now. And the only other color, I remember I said about monochromatic, the only other color that's in here as far as cardstock goes is the Evening Evergreen. I'm cutting this paper at the 4 1/4 length, so I have the 8 1/2 at top, and I'm cutting that in half. Then I'm going to turn it and score it 5 1/2. The scoring blade is the light gray blade. Then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut it down to 4 because I need a layer piece now. And I'm going to cut that to 5 1/4. This is the piece I need to emboss with that fern folder. And then this piece here I'm going to use for the larger tag. Okay, so let's go get my machine and cut out these 2 tags. This is the cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to lay this tag down, and let's see if I can get this one on here as well. I can. And run it through. Hello, Carol. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Carol. All right. So here is my larger tag, and look at the stitching on that. In case you don't have those dies, look at the detail in that. And then here is the vellum. Okay, I'll put these back in my metallic or my magnetic bowl. And now I'm going to change up my platforms for the folder. I'm going to use Fern, which is a 3D folder. I'm going to put the bottom of my cardstock on the black line. I know I say that each and every time, but I never know if somebody new is on. Hi, Pam. Thank you for sprinkling. You never know if somebody is new on here and doesn't know that Stampin' Up! Folders have a black line on there, and if you line your paper up with that, you'll be straight. Platform number 4, and run that through. Look at this paper. Isn't that gorgeous? I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. All right, now we need the tag. And I didn't want the same folder to be on the fern, so I'm going back to the cane weave. Told you on Sunday that I imagine back in those days lots of baskets and cane, so I think this is fitting as well. And run that through. Hi, Roseanne. You're welcome, Kathy. Okay. There we go. So these together, look at that texture. The vellum on top is going to soften everything. Oh, I forgot to cut one thing out. Let me do it now so I can just be done with that. And that is this beautiful sprig from the Queen Bee set. I'll do it over here so I don't have to move everything again. You know how to do it. I cut one out already, but I want 2 of these. Okay, and with this die here, I've noticed that it just doesn't fall out all on its own, so you do have to use the little dots that are in the metal to push with your paper piercer or some type of tool and pull it out gently. It's very snug in there, so you don't want to rip it. Okay. All these little tips about all the different, each die acts differently, you never know. Okay, so I do need 2 of these. So there we go. Now I have all my pieces. So again, this card does not have any interference with ribbon. Needed to be put down before we have our layer piece. So I'm gonna put that down now. And I'm going to use my liquid glue, flip it to its back side, and get this down. Now you should be telling yourself she's going to bend it slightly in the middle so she can see top, bottom, side, and side, right side, left side, and know that she's framing the layer piece completely even. And there we go. And it also helps if you have your card open when you do that, so nothing is bouncing. See how they bounce when they're folded? Okay. So the next thing I want to do, because I want to give it a little bit of time to dry, this is vellum cardstock, and vellum cardstock is slick and it's see-through, so ink does not dry as quickly on it as it does on regular cardstock. I need to take my jacket off. I turned the heater on in here and now it's getting very warm. Okay, so I'm going to take the stamp and ink it up with the Blackberry Bliss ink. And I was also thinking of a way, hi Gail, of a way to make this easy so you don't have to do a lot of coloring or anything like that. What I'm doing right now is lining this vellum up on my grid paper, and I'm going to come down towards the bottom of the tag and stamp Jesus. Let it soak into the paper, hold the paper with my thumb, and then lift. And we have a beautiful image. I am going to clean my stamp right now before I put it away. Now it's all clean. And I think I'm done with the ink. And now I can layer this on here. Again, we don't want to see any glue behind the image. I showed you on Sunday, but just in case you weren't here, I took my fine tip glue bottle that I bought on Amazon, and I am just going to put a thin bit of glue on the back side of the image, here and there. It is white when it comes out, but it dries clear, so if you're behind these colors, you won't see it. And I'm just placing it here and there. Very little. Okay. I'm going to turn this over, and I am avoid touching the image, the stamped image, because remember I said that it does not dry instantly like it does on cardstock. Okay. Now to help this stay down, we're going to go to our linen thread and our dimensionals. And I also want to cover up this hole here. So I'm going to place the linen thread onto the back, and I'm trying to line up at this angle right here, just trying to go straight across like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to wrap, and I'm going to wrap until I've got this hole covered up. So I didn't count. That's 4 though. I'll count this time. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I'm going to let go of that because I'm going to put my dimensional down to help me hold this end, so I don't have to worry about it. Now I can straighten that out and then go for it a couple of more times. Okay, and then I'm going to cut a little piece off with my snips. And same thing, I'm going to use my dimensionals. Hi, Rhonda. Welcome, my dear. Okay. Okay, so the glue is not dry yet, so it's still moving around on me. But I don't want to touch and smear that ink. I am glad that the ink will run though, because I'm going to take my Wink of Stella brush and see how it's colored in. All I used was my Wink of Stella brush. I'm glad you're able to join me as well. I'm going to grab the little lines there. See how that just really runs quickly just by grabbing the outer image. And I'm staying in the middle of the images because the ink will run. You don't want to make the image disappear, right? You just want to add color. So this is how I'm adding color to this card. I'm not going to look up and look at my comments right now because I want to make sure I don't take away too many of the lines. You love this set, Cookie. I'm glad. If I do look up, I'll stop coloring because I don't want to mess it up. But I really liked how the Wink of Stella added some sparkle and just took the color from the stamped image. Okay, now just play with this. I'm going to turn it over and press so that glue will start to stick better. And there we go. We do not want to touch it to press it down. We want to turn it over. See this extra ink right here? That means it's still wet. So that's why I did that. See, there's still some more. Okay. So now you're good. And then I didn't care for this hole as either. So that's where my rustic metallic adhesive dots came in. Thank you guys for all the hearts. And I'm just going to set one there. And then, and these are the larger ones. There's large and small. And I'm using 3. Now I do know that our rule is odd numbers because this isn't a hole. There's nothing for that to stick to at this moment. So I'll leave it off for a second. I'm going to turn this back over and add more dimensionals. Add some down the middle. And on the corners. Okay, pull off the backings. And come over here to my card. Look how pretty that is. Now, I have to be careful when I set this. I don't want it right in the middle. It's not raining here, Kathy, no. I want it over to my left a little bit. So I have to make sure when I put this down, doesn't that make a difference in the whole card? That when I put this down, it's not going to go over the edge of the card. So I'm going to set my cluster, as I call them, my main image, right there. Okay, now I can put my metallic dot down. It has something to hang on to now. And then again with my dot. Oh, you know what? If you're hearing a noise in here, it's a water heater. It's loud, sorry. Putting a little bit of glue here. And then setting this down, lining up the center with the center metallic. Rustic metallic dot. Then I'm just going to take a little more glue in the center of this one because I like these to be able to lift. So I'm going to set this one right on top of the first one and give it a second to dry, and then I'm going to mess with it. Okay, I need one more dot. I need the little one. And that is going to go right there. So I was saying I know that the rule is odd numbers, but in this case 4 was more attractive than 3. So we never say never, right? Never use an even number. In this case, we're using an even number. Okay, what did I do with my lid? This is what scares me about this thing. I don't want to lose my lid. Okay, so look how pretty this card is. Looks like I need to add some more glue on the corners. So I'm going to lift and I'm going to add a good amount, but I am going to take my finger because I want to rub most of it off on the back. See how you can see it? It is going to dry clear. And yes, I'm going to have inky fingers now, but this is the only way I could figure out how not to have a big blob, how to have just a thin bit of glue under there. You could use paper. You could use another piece of cardstock and rub it instead of your fingers. But I wanted most of it off so when it dries clear, you don't see it. Okay, so there you go. Now, I did want to line this one with white. And this is where I started looking for other stamp sets, and I'm sure there's more. But under his wing, you will find refuge. So somebody's having a hard time under his wing, they will find refuge. So this is Hope and Prayer stamp set. I'm going to take under his wing, pull my sleeves up. Lining up my cardstock on the grid paper. Tap, check my stamp, and stamp. Hold my paper, hold my stamp down, hold my paper, and lift. Beautiful. Okay. So now we can take this. Thank you. Hi, Pamela. Thank you for sprinkling, Cookie. And set this down. So I'm being careful because I got ink on my thumb, and I do not want to get ink on this white cardstock. So do you guys see what I'm saying about the monochromatic? There is some evening evergreen. There is some linen thread and metallic color, but the colors that you choose are making this stamp set really, really elegant. Now I'm going to grab the top one of these sprigs and I'm just going to bend them towards each other a little more so I can see both. Thank you, Diane. And I'm just thinking that you cannot go wrong with this set. Everything I do with it just pleases me. It just comes out beautifully. So I think that these are very, very elegant cards. Okay, so I said I had some more samples. So I took Evening Evergreen and white and the same sprigs from the Queen Bee set. And I was telling you that the timber folder would make the wood grain. So in one of the celebration sets that you could earn free, it says, "My shoulder is yours." So I have the dove landing on his shoulder and someone that needs someone to talk to or to know that you're there for them. This would be great to send. Going back to the early espresso, this one really reminded me of him in the garden speaking to God, to his Father. And therefore I had palms behind him and in front of him. But it says sending loving thoughts and prayers. And a little bit of sponging. Now these are those dies that I was telling you about at the beginning, the something fancy dies. These are so cool. They have little cutouts that you can put in the middle right there. They're even fancier. Oh my gosh, they're just beautiful. I'll show you another one in a second. So again, a very serene, soothing, simple card, right? You do have to fussy cut out the palms. That's why if you're not a fussy cutter, I wanted to suggest these this die here with the queen bee. Look at this. Evening evergreen again. The palms again. The dove. Some sparkly paper behind. And these something fancy dies again. There's a die that lays on top of the actual tag that cuts out this little sprig. And then I filled it with the glimmer paper. Peace be unto you. And then our ribbon that has silver. Just thought that was very elegant. So as I line these up, I don't know if you agree, but I think that you can make some beautiful, hi Stephanie, cards with this set. Okay, so thank you guys. So I'm going to take these away so you can focus on the one I just made without all the other ones looking at you. And I'm going to wait for some questions. Any questions? Thank you. Thank you. I see. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you like them. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies, I'm going to run, and I will see you on Sunday. Okay? You take care. Bye-bye.